one of the most important things in order to be successful and build a sustainable, successful business is to actually be consistent with the job that you're doing. It's rather consistency over motivation than motivation over consistency, because motivation, it's energy level, you can drain it really fast. It's like a battery level. Sometimes it's full, sometimes it's low. When your motivation is full, you might be able to accomplish a lot of things. But when it's running low, you might drop the ball on a lot of things. So what you need to do, you need to be more consistent in the tasks that you're doing. You need to do them daily. And you can do that by basically dividing it into two categories. The first category is about yourself, right? In order to be successful, you need to program yourself personally. You need to build daily habits in order to build that routine so that you basically do it automatically, just like brushing your teeth before bed. It's not run on motivation, it's run on basically daily habits. And that's what you need to do. And then the second thing is that you can use technology, because it's 2025 and there's a lot of amazing tools and software is available, including Numu. If you're using Numu, you can use these softwares in order to build autonomous system that delivers on the consistency without having you to tap into your motivation or not. Whether you feel motivated or not, that will run by itself in the background, right? What I'm talking about building, actually like building funnels, the free opt-in funnels that are automatic, that run in the background. You do the work once, maybe you do it when your motivation is really high, and then you nail it, you build that funnel. And then now it's running in the background. All you need to do is just tweak it every now and then. So if somebody goes through the funnel, takes your free opt-in offer and then moves on the funnel, they're automatically getting emails that are set up by the system. That allows you to do that, workflows. This will happen automatically so that you don't have to tap into your own work. You don't have to drain any of your energy. So you build it once, and you can build it when you're actually super motivated. Because I know a lot of people are struggling with consistency and motivation, and I am one of them. I'm not going to lie. There are certain things that I'm consistent, and there's certain things I'm not consistent. The stuff that I'm consistent in, it tends to be the stuff that I prioritize. Just like I want to have beautiful teeth or white teeth, I brush them every day before I go to bed. And if for my business, I sometimes prioritize certain projects over others, right? And there I can deliver on consistency because I'm there doing it. But the goal is to actually build systems so that when you work on one project, you don't neglect the other project. It is being run automatically in the background. So a lot of people, when it comes to like consistency and motivation, they focus only on themselves. But I would say focus on yourself and build habits, but at the same time, also step out of the box a little bit and use the technology that already exists in order to create the sense of consistency in your business without you having to run these things. Because think about the people like Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and whatnot. They have systems, and they're actually so powerful that they have actually people working within their systems, right? And that's how they deliver on that consistency. So don't think about it as what should I do and what can I do, but also what other technologies I can implement in order to deliver on consistency. Because at some point you will be dropping the ball because stuff come up. If something happens to your family member, something happens to you, something, and then you might not deliver. But if you have that system built in, then even if you drop the ball on one task, the business is still ongoing. So it's still going to be sustainable.
So what if, okay, so that makes sense, right? Because Numu has the tools to do that too. You can do funnels, you can do these automations. We did a funnel class in the last couple of weeks, maybe it was last week. And then we're going to do an automations class in July. And so and it makes sense, right? Totally. What you're saying is excellent advice. And it's stuff that I didn't do for many years in my online business either, but I just kept doing the daily work and working a lot. So these tools are available. But what if you have to be consistent in order to set them up in the first place? What if you don't have that motivation, or you can't, how do you get it done?
Here's the thing. If you find yourself in the predicament where you feel motivated and you want to do something, do it then. Take advantage of that opportunity and create that automatic system. But sometimes, how do you get yourself motivated to do something? Honestly, the only way to answer this is basically looking inwards. What do I do? Sometimes when I lose motivation, I do tend to go listen to motivational content on YouTube or whatever. But that's not just it. I try to remind myself of my personal goals and also my business goals. And when you write down your goals and you reflect on them and try to brainstorm and come up with new ideas, sometimes those new ideas trigger new level of motivation for you. And then you just take it and do it. And you need to come up with a system and break things down, because that's why I said consistency gets divided into two categories, one for you and one for technology, right? Technology, it's easy to set things up, but you might not have the motivation to do it. But if you haven't set up anything, what you need to do is you need to work on yourself and make sure that you become consistent. And the only way to do it is by building habits. And the way I build habits is by doing, if I want to do something every day and implement it, I don't start right away. Let's say now, for instance, I started doing close to 15 minutes of sit-ups and a combination of core workout muscle or workouts that target my core muscles, right? So I do it every day in the morning. My goal is to do it for 30 minutes every day, but I didn't start right away with 30 minutes, right? I started last week with this goal. So right now I'm breaking it down into every day. I just need to do at least 5 to 10 minutes, right? I just want to get into the habit of getting on the mat in the morning. So you build it slowly, 5 to 10 minutes, and then over time you will extend it. So already like 7 days in since I've been doing it, I've already extended. Like the first time I got on the mat and started doing stuff, after 5 minutes, I'm like, I don't feel, I just want to drop it. But then now I'm actually pushing it towards 10 to 15 minutes. And sooner it's gonna, so you build it slowly, step by step. And you build a system and you get into the habit. You just get into the habit of doing it, even if it takes just showing up and not doing anything, because sometimes it's a psychological thing. I listened to one podcast before. I know like like making it longer than it should be right now. But somebody said in order, if you have a goal to work out every day or 3 times per week, sometimes you're not motivated to go work out. What you should do, you should still go to the gym. Even if it means just you walking around in the gym on the treadmill for 20 minutes, just you yourself getting into the car and getting into the habit of getting into the car and going to the gym will build that consistency, even though you had a shitty workout that day because you didn't feel motivated. And that's how this guy basically lost a ton of weight, because that's the goal that he wanted to do. So he said, sometimes I didn't feel like going to the gym, but I just went there anyways. I was there for just 15 minutes. So you just got to do it in small incremental time. Just break it down into blocks and do it one block at a time. And the blocks that you do it based on your attention span. If your attention span is 10, 15 minutes, work for 10, 15 minutes, take 5 minutes break or whatever, work an interval level type of thing.
Yeah, that works for a lot of people. It doesn't work for me. I actually find I can work like a sustained period is much better for me. But there is like that Pomodoro technique where you like work for 20 minutes. I can't explain it because I've never done it, but like 20 minutes and then you take a break and then you get back at it. But I did the same thing. We're talking about business, but also the other good habits in your life are relevant. I did the same thing with yoga. I do yoga pretty much every day for 30 minutes a day. And I started with 10 minutes. And what I used to do actually in order, when I'd skip a day, I used to force myself to do double the next. I'd force myself to do 20. And then I don't do that anymore. Now I'm allowed to skip days because I have the habit. It's okay if I decide one day a week I'm not going to do it. But it was the same kind of thing. And I laugh because also the gym, I hated the gym. I hated going to the gym. I love yoga. I hated going to the gym, or I like going outside, but I hated the gym. And I used to go to the gym and I'd be there for 10 minutes and I would leave a lot of times. But I never developed the habit because it wasn't quite right for me. I had to find the thing that was right for me. And I think that's the beautiful thing about an online business too, is that we can decide what we want to do. Yes, there's going to be those basics of setting up funnels and doing these things, but you still get to focus where you want to focus. And as you start making money, you hire people to do the things that you don't want to do. So then you can take it all off your plate and focus on the part. Maybe you like delivering courses or talking to your people, or you like just doing emails, or you like a certain part of it. You can start hiring people to do that. I also just want to talk about how you said you like to listen to motivational stuff. For me, I don't enjoy that at all. So it's important to know what we like. I actually find that if I'm not motivated, starting and doing the work and doing like a small part, like the easier part, that I will build the momentum because I started. Or if I'm feeling really so frustrated, or not frustrated, but like overwhelmed, maybe I have too much to do, I don't know what to do, I just put the computer away and I get some paper and I write stuff down. And then I sort it out and create a list for myself. And yeah, you just kind of do this stuff. Like we can't get away from it, and we won't always feel motivated to do it. But we should also remember how it feels once we've accomplished it. Same with like exercise. You know that when you're done, you're not going to regret exercising. You're going to feel good after. And you have to remind yourself also, you're going to feel good after you do these business tasks too. You're going to be like, maybe they weren't perfect. Maybe it didn't move the needle right away, but you learned something, you accomplished something, and you're moving towards something. And that does feel good. So remember that.